Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the continuation of the Starcraft Lorerun, and today we'll be, of course, discussing Starcraft 2, which, as we all know, is incredibly awesome. I mean, one thing I've heard many times is that people complain that Starcraft 2's graphics were trying too hard for that retro feel, and personally, I don't think that's true. I think when we have really awesome graphics fidelity that is timeless and lasts throughout the generations, we have something like this wonderful, amazing, gorgeous, really. I mean, honestly, I feel that's the kind of thing that I would print out and hang up on my wall. I absolutely love it. I don't see why anyone else has any problems with this, but I mean, I'm never going to argue against aesthetics. So, as we see right now, we've got an Overlord who has one brood factor. For some reason, the Overlord can do damage in StarCraft 2. I'm not sure why they changed that, but I'm okay with the change. I'm good with change. I'm good with trying new things. Okay, enough screwing around. let's get to the real thing here. So, we may have to pause again in a minute, but as you can see from the totals in the actual total thing, these need to actually be moved down here. As you can see by the totals, we're actually going to be doing casual difficulty, which is probably a good thing in all honesty, as much as I really would rather go ahead and play through on hard difficulty. We are so strapped for time, and I have so many things to showcase. Casual is probably the way to go. So, one other thing I want to just get out there right off the top of the bat. Actually, two things, okay? First of all, I want to apologize. Today and today only, there is a event going on. There's a race that is being watched. I actually normally would be watching it myself, but I'm super strapped for time and I need to get this streaming done, so I can't afford to take the break, even though we're doing casual difficulty. So sorry, guys, but there's probably going to be some white noise, or not noise, just general noise. I don't know if you can hear them right now. The TV is going over there, and there will be loudness, just letting you know in advance. Nothing I can do about it at the end, whatever. Next point. On a slightly more serious note, I know a lot of you out there, you look at me and you think, Arsh, you're an idiot. I hate StarCraft 2. I hate everything about it, and I love to insult people who like StarCraft 2. To which I say, okay, listen. I love StarCraft 2. But you don't have to. I fully understand why some people don't like or enjoy or love StarCraft 2 like I do. That's fine. That's not an issue. That's not a problem. Okay? What I don't like is when you insult other people because of their opinions or perspectives. What I don't like is when someone says, and I quote, because this is actually a direct quote, I actually bothered to look up one of my things, only an idiot would like StarCraft for the story, or it's a drivel story, or so forth and so on. In other words, if you want to do that kind of passive-aggressive thing of looking at other people who enjoy this game's story and being derogatory to them, then you're in the wrong place. Please leave. Now for the rest of you, hey, you're totally welcome. I will be discussing the ups and downs of this story as we go through, of course, because Lorerun, and I'll have probably tons and tons of time to talk, and by tons and tons of time, I mean I may actually have difficulty getting out all the discussions I want to. There's a huge amount of lore to discuss in StarCraft 2, far more so than in StarCraft the original for the most part. I also have to discuss several things that are not shown in the games. I'm going to be talking about the Spectre War. I've got some notes right there. I'm going to be talking about the history of the Hyperion, etc., etc. Hey, I'm not calling you out, Dakota. Let me make this clear. Let me explain what I mean. I'm not distressing like any of my viewers right now. Really, I'm not. What tends to happen is, like I said before, there are two games I've looked at in the past that have just insane amounts of vitriol. They have been the most controversial games I've talked about. Fallout 3 and StarCraft 2. Now, I love Fallout 3, and I love StarCraft 2. And a lot of people don't. And that's fine. As long as you're willing to be, reasonable about it. As long as you're willing to be decent about it. What I tend to really dislike is when people just come up and say, I hate it, or insult people who don't think the way they do. I'm not really that tolerant of these things. As an addendum, my mods, just to make this clear, do have my full permission to basically ban people for any spoilers regarding Fallout 4 or Legacy of the Void, since both of those are coming up soon. So you guys have my, the kitty gloves are off. This is a no-men situation, guys, okay? Absolutely no men, all right? I want to make that clear. So that means about 99% of my viewers just left. Now, One thing I want to say right off the bat here with regards to StarCraft 2 is it is a very different game than StarCraft 1. I don't just mean in terms of gameplay and whatnot. The story approach is completely different. I talked about this during Brood War. Brood War and the original StarCraft were all about the descent. Everything was getting worse. Everything was getting more difficult. Basically, the entire universe was just descending into horribleness. That doesn't even begin to turn around until the secret mission, and even then, that's just the very, very first step. In StarCraft 2, it's the exact opposite journey. StarCraft 1 and Brood War is going down, and StarCraft 2 and Heart of the Swarm is going up, with things slowly looking up. I mean, still horrible things happen, and still lots of people die, but the tone and the theme is much more a better tomorrow, which is something Matt Horner has been using as his as call to arms, as his method of caring about it and trying for the future for many, many years. And it makes sense, and it is very much the, like I said, the theme of this. Okay, Samurai. Now we're going to do a couple audio checks before we do anything else. So we're just going to hop in here really quick. Basically, I need to know how the music and how the audio sounds versus me. So we're just going to start... Actually, that's a really bad thing. Let's just do... Ah, here we go. Perfect. We'll do a training match. Sure. I have to download? Okay, whatever. We are not decided, Lurker. That is an ongoing thing. Although, in fairness, it probably should stay that way. So, like I said, I need to know how the audio is. It's kind of quiet to my ears. But obviously, I'm not hearing what you guys are hearing. Okay, so we'll just select some units for a bit here.
What's going on?
Not enough minerals.
Oh, God. Okay, God. You guys have no idea how weird it is going literally directly from Brood War to StarCraft 2. This is just... okay. I can do this. Hotkeys are different. Hotkeys are different. Okay. Also, a couple options are wrong. Hang on. Let's roll that up a bit. Okay, that's better. That'll do. That'll do. Dial on. Okay, so let's see. Here's the SCVs talking. I'm probably gonna need to get some.
Not enough minerals.
It's just Okay, so you say the voices is cranked to max, and the master is cranked to max, so we can make this work. Tychus is awesome.
SCV ready.
Can I build anything? Oh, I can. What do I... Oh, God, this is just such culture shock going straight from Brood War to this. You have no idea, guys. Oh, my God. Okay.
Overtime. SCV ready.
I built supply depots too early, guys. Oh, God, convenience features everywhere. I'm so confused. Baronessa, but Tychus is awesome. Tychus is seriously among my favorite characters. Happy N7 Day, Equalitas.
Additional supply depots required.
Yes, and now they're done. I don't know why it was telling me I built too early. Hey, look, I can make the supply depots go away. This is great. Why can't I build more than 5 things at once? You fixed so many other things. What dropped down? What's up?
SCV ready.
Yeah, it's weird actually having hotkeys that are logical and sense make. I'm not sure, Darth McTaters. I've only played a couple of multiplayer matches and I lost every single one of them.
SCV ready.
Ah, yes, that would be the other people drop, which shrug. It's that or I don't stream. Drop. Take your pick.
SCV ready.
So, yeah. Sorry, guys. I have something flickering? Oh, so I do. I know what that is. I know what that is. Hang on, I could fix that. I'm not sure why it's doing that, but... I'll do this.
SCV ready.
Actually, I know exactly why it's doing that. Hang on. There we go. Not sure why that was all screwed up.
SCV ready.
Okay, we're good. God, that is really tiny. So how's the music? Let's just go with straight music. How's the music sound versus me?
Ready.
Why is that so small? I feel like this is smaller than it should be. I mean, I'm on widescreen, but... What the heck, you know? Yeah, no mana qualitas. Whatever. Okay, so let me ask you guys a question. Because I really have two options here, is what this boils down to. What's this? Oh, that's that. I can do it how you're looking at it right now, or I can do this. Both of these are options. I'm okay with both of these, really. I'm gonna let you guys decide. So, smaller or larger. We'll just make it really simple like that. The obvious detriment, if it's larger, then, you know, the text is going to be over the game. And, there's going to be no faceplate, which I spent all that time working on, but whatever. I suppose I could push me in here. Where's the webcam? I'll go and put myself in here somewhere, like somewhere in the corner, really small, like this. So this is option 2 here, the larger option. And this is pretty much exactly what it would look like. Text up there, that up there, and just living with it, which actually makes me really sad. I put a lot of work into the framework of this. For those of you who haven't seen, that over there is actually a really cool image I threw together of several different images. I don't know if you can tell, but that's actually Rainer and Tychus's faces merged into each other. The degree to which both of them fit with each other is surprising to me. I'm honestly amazed that their faces are that well designed. Although, of course, that makes sense because Tychus is in many ways the other half of Rainer. And just to show it off now, this is the other image I made, which is the two Kerrigans, the Queen of Blades, and of course Kerrigan herself up against the backdrop of that place whose name I can't think of. Xeris. I spent a lot of work on making those ones look as nice as I can. But I am as ever a slave to you, and frankly, I'd rather you see the game than some fancy graphic I made. So, and no, I don't, Samurai, in all honesty. So, wow, we're like flat-tied. So while you guys are deciding, I'm going to leave this going for a little bit.
Insufficient Vespine gas.
No, I'm curious. Yeah, we are flat tied on the vote. Wow, guys. Now, for the record, I actually planned, I actually fully planned to do Legacy of the Void basically like this. Not just because I don't know, you know, because I don't have a background set up for it, but also because of the fact that I want you guys to be able to see as much of the game as possible, you know, brand new game and all that fun stuff. So, you know, that's a thing. If I do this, I'd probably extend the chat a little bit further down, so it's going like right about to here-ish, actually.
SCV ready. Yep. In the rear with the gear. Bad news. What's the big jump? In the rear with the gear.
Oh, there he is.
We'll butter my biscuit.
What commands, Brogue? Yeah, the chat will obscure cutscenes. I don't have a lot of good options here. Hang on, I have an idea. Hang on. Okay, so this is kind of an in-betweeny option. Except it won't let me change the... Oh, I can't do it in a match. Well, what you're looking at is basically the in-betweeny option. I'm not sure how well this will work. Oh, jeez. Okay, we're going to have to do this. There we go. We're going to have to use the arrow keys to move the map for this. So I could change the aspect ratio, basically, and do what I did with Starcraft. It'll still be smaller. It'll still be... but you'll be able to see it a little bit better than the incredibly squished thing that you saw earlier. What, Deutsch? Oh, you don't like my pointers being everywhere? You don't like this? What? Okay, here's... let me go ahead and... let's finish the audio test first.
SCV ready.
Hang on, I'll go ahead and do something really quick, just so you guys have an idea of what I'm talking about. If you don't understand what I mean... Here, this is a little better. Basically something like... whoops, wrong thing. Where's Rainer? I love the music in this game. Something kind of like this. Where's the... Kind of like this. This is what we'd be doing. This is the in-between option. Here, you know what? Hang on. Let me... Flat tide. Flat tide. Okay, so we've got the current aspect ratio or full screen, basically. New vote. So the current is what we've got right over here. The full screen is what I was showcasing earlier. Let me know what you think of that, guys. I'll make myself a little bit bigger. No, not that big. There we go. Oh, God, I'm gonna have to... Is there like a setting to allow it to capture the mouse while I'm in windowed? Because that would be very helpful. Jump to the table. Just see how it looks like it's not an option. Damn. Looks like I'm just going to be stuck using the arrow keys to move around. Whatever. We're going to be on casual difficulty, so I think this will work out regardless.
Ah, you scared me.
By the way, this is pretty much probably where the music's going to be. So how is the music volume? Can you hear this music? I can change the music all over the place. Right now the music is about half volume, so I can change it up, I can change it down. Help me out. Yeah, whatever, go do something. Oh, hey, guys, I can select multiple buildings at once. This is great. Here, let's try. Let's let you guys hear what music sounds like at. Let's try 80%. So here's 80% music. So this is 50 to 80. I'm going to keep talking so you can hear me versus that. We still haven't had combat sounds. We're going to get combat sounds going in a minute here.
Bad news. I'm going.
Oh, hey, I can queue up buildings too. Oh, yes, I'm playing a real RTS. Sorry. Say what you want about StarCraft 2's stories. The gameplay is just phenomenal. I absolutely love the gameplay of StarCraft 2. It is so much better in convenience features, in quality of life measures, and the smoothness which the hotkeys flung. It's just absolutely bearable, absolutely amazing. Okay, so people are saying down to like 65. Let's go ahead and go down to 65 right there. So here's 65%. Again, I'm going to keep talking. So you can hear me, or maybe you can't hear me, basically. So we're at 65% now on the music. Are we good on the music? Is this all working out? We got this. We need to... There we go. Oh, wow, enemies! Hey, look, I can give queuing focus fire orders now. Check that out. I actually have health bars over the units, too. I love health bars. That's something I love about Warcraft 3. Oh, I love Starcraft 2's music, absolutely. Okay, so a lot of people are saying good for music. Excellent. How, War Rager? Like, please, in all seriousness, tell me where the option is. The way I got that to work in the original StarCraft was I had a mod pack, the Chaos Launcher thing I was using, that actually had an option to restrain the mouse to the cursor, or to the window. So please, by all means, tell me where that option is so I can make it set, because using the arrow keys for this is just driving me crazy. So we're going to get a battle going on here in a minute, just so you can hear what it sounds like to be in combat. And we'll see how that sounds. Let's go attack the enemy. The voices are at max right now. And we can fix that, but we haven't really heard voices yet. Not really. So we're going to try combat first, and once we get that set, then we'll go ahead and try everything else. That may not make sense, but trust me, I know what I'm doing here. Go, my minions! Not sure why we weren't on faster. Oh, shush, Titans. Actually, I really do enjoy the Marine Army in as Terrans, because you can actually make one. You can make a varied force of multiple different units, and it works really well, and I like it. Okay, so, we're going to get some combat going here. Let me know how the combat sounds. I'm going to talk continuously here. Hang on. Gameplay. Mouse. Scroll. Enabled. I'm not seeing it, War Wager. Oh, apparently it's... still not seeing it. Aha! There we go. Okay, yes, thank you. It is a drop-down. Oh, that is so much better. God, how the heck do you guys play these games without mouse scrolling it? Okay, so, thank you everyone for that. We're just going to keep talking here while that is going on.
Sure thing. Roger that.
Are we good? We doing good here? How's the audio? We've just taken out a whole base of Doom. We've been firing nonstop the whole time. How's the combat sounds in action here? Oh my god, I don't have to limit myself to groups of 12. Yes. Or 9, if you've played Warcraft 2.
Can't wait.
Mineral field depleted.
Sorry. So yeah, in order to hear actual dialogue, we're gonna have to leave this. So, I'm going to cheat a little bit to get to some actual dialogue, because I want the audio set before we really get going. Yay, I am level 1! Yay! Okay. So, wait, does he not have anything? Okay, so spoiler alert. You'll notice I don't even have the campaign thing. I'm actually not on my account here. My friend Pax has never actually gone back and finished Wings of Liberty, and he requested that when I'm doing the Lorerun, I be playing on his account so he can get the completion for Wings of Liberty in. So I don't have any achievements or anything here. So do we have... here we go. He wants the Master Archives unlocked, basically. So we're going to start up a cutscene, and we're going to hear how the dialogue works. So hopefully the dialogue is good. Yes, Pax is literally outsourcing his run to me. What the heck? I just got a tweet of someone asking if I wasn't interested in BlizzCon. I find that amusing. Sure. So...
To rule Char once again, we must destroy the Terran fortress. They will fight with everything they have. We need only your command, my queen.
So, audio? How we sounding, guys? Here, we'll go ahead and start the mission, because there's going to be, like, a cutscene thing here. In a minute. Maybe. Thank you very much, OG Steve. I appreciate it. And don't worry, my regular features will be continuing very soon. Basically, as soon as I'm done streaming Starcraft, the Lorerun, and as soon as I finish the Fallout 4 stream, which is going to be following it, I'm going to be getting right back onto the saddle with the Voyager stuff, the Fallout stuff, the Primus stuff, and the main ruminations. Yeah, blessed be separate audio sliders. So, we're just going to let this play.
The Terran fortress. They're dug in and ready for us. There is no room for subtlety here. We will go after them wherever they are, and overwhelm them.
Oh, those graphics look amazing,
Prepare
too.
for nuclear launch. I want the only thing left of these bugs to be glowing corpses.
General Warfield is activating his nuclear arsenal.
We have to move fast. Zagara, you set up a hive cluster while I take this wave and
Oh my god! Look at this! I love this game! Hang on, I gotta do this real quick. I gotta do this.
Swarm conquers all.
Yes! Live for the swarm! I mean, hi.
Damage as you can, my queen.
Send me reinforcements when you can. This is going to be bloody.
Oh my god! Look at this!
Here they come.
Look at this!
Repel the Zerg assault. Don't budge an inch.
Oh my god! So one thing I love about StarCraft 2, that they really did better than StarCraft 1. Again, no offense to StarCraft 1, the swarm really feels like a swarm in StarCraft 2. I mean, this is a force of like 100 or so troops here. I'm not even sure how many I've got. This is a ridiculous number of troops. Okay, I'm fangasming. I'm sorry. Okay, so I'm going to lower the combat noise just a little bit. Because it's hard for me to hear them over that. So I'm going to put that down to 40. If I could get... My OCD is like, no, not... No, not... there, okay, we're good. And we'll leave the interface sounds kind of down there. We're good. Okay, so... Game audio is good. Everything's good. I think we're finally ready to start for realsies. Ready to watch the intro? I gotta tell you a story before we watch this intro. I'm really sorry. Oh, I love the 64-bit client. Whoops. It's different hotkeys. There we go. I gotta tell you a bit of a story. This, for those of you who don't know, this video was basically broadcast in the middle of a tournament live without warning. Back with different dialogue in a Korean tournament many years ago, just before before Wings of Liberty actually came out, and I remember watching it, and a friend of mine happened to link me it because it's the gentleman who worked at Blizzard. I mentioned him several times. He linked me and he's like, dude, you need to watch this. I'm like, okay, what? And I just exploded. I cannot put into words. I literally was standing up on in front of my table. I was at work. I was working in at Standard at the time. Yeah, there was no context. It was just, and then here's this moment, and then just the video stuff. And I was just, oh my god, finally! And then that quote, hell, it's about time. You knew they too they were well aware of the wait, but I was just watching that, and I was so excited and so enthused, and I cannot put into words how much I was just like, oh my god, that's incredible and insane, and I love it. So apologies, but I'm probably going to fangasm over this again because this is freaking amazing.
They say a man never really knows himself. until his freedom's been taken away. I wonder, how well do you know yourself?
Prisoner, step forward onto the platform.
Convict 626. Murderer. Pirate. Traitor. Today, you go free. But, as you'll soon learn, even freedom has a price.
Combat suit sealed and locked.
You'll carry your prison with you. That armor will be your new cell. Make no mistake. War is coming. With all its glory. And all its horror. Mr. Finley, your freedom awaits.
Hell, it's about time.
And in other news today, Emperor Arcturus Mengsk held a press conference commemorating the end of the so-called Brood War some 4 years ago. Our own Kate Lockwell was on the scene.
Emperor, the threat of a new Zerg invasion is still very real. But instead of expanding our fleets, you've squandered trillions on hunting down has-been rebels like Jim Raynor.
Jim Raynor represents a clear and present threat to this dominion. He is an unscrupulous, lawless revolutionary bent on spreading fear and dissension across the sector. He and his ragtag band of miscreants have instigated open rebellion across 6 separate worlds and stolen vast amounts of civilian weapons and armor. This criminal will be brought to justice very soon.
It ain't over till it's over, you son of a bitch. Adjutant, are my troops ready yet?
Your forces are prepared and awaiting your orders, Commander. Uploading tactical data now.
Good. About time we kick this revolution into overdrive.
Backwater Station is the center of Dominion logistics on Marsara. Destroying Dominion authority here will cripple Emperor Mengsk's operations throughout the planet.
Okay. You know how my lore runs go. Now to talk for 40 minutes about what we just saw. Alright. First of all, I do, there's a lot to talk about with regards to Mengsk's deal with Tychus. I'll get to that later, but some people ask, for example, why does he not release Tychus to go after Raynor? Keep in mind, Mengsk is fully aware of the artifact deal and the deprogrammed Terrigan deal. He knows that's in the works. He sent Tychus to go after Kerrigan, not Raynor. Although having an agent within Raynor's ranks is certainly useful to him, he's not actually that interested in that, and that's why Tychus never goes after Raynor. It is also probably worth noting that Mengsk is probably at least intelligent enough to realize that he couldn't send Tychus, of all people, after Raynor. So, that being said, it accomplishes two goals. It keeps him fully aware of Raynor's activities, and it keeps him ready to go. And it pushes the chess piece into position because he assumes Raynor will succeed at this harebrained scheme, which I find hilarious because it's absolutely true. Of course, if anybody can pull this off, it's Raynor, right? Second thing, one of the things I love about that cinematic, and I thought this the first time too, is it's the first time we actually see what happens when a Marine gets suited up. Now, try to keep in mind, what we saw is probably at least a slightly modified version because of the fact that it was Tychus, but I don't think it was modified that much. I think what we were seeing is the normal procedure of suiting up a Marine. Don't forget, most Marines in the Confederacy and the Dominion, and the UED even, are convicts who have undergone resocialization, so brain panning, if you will. So it's very, very... basically, that's what they all go through, is what I'm trying to say. A convict comes out, you get slopped into your thing, given a gun, and you're told out to go and shoot people. Notice, of course, that that entire facility was clearly set and ready to go for suiting up people for Marines, so it's not like that was built just for him. And yeah, I don't know if you guys saw, but there were actually bolts in his skin that had been surgically added into his skin at certain places, which could then interface with the armor. And Tychus, of course, is fully aware of how to operate the power armor, so it's not like this is anything new. Yes, I do, Dark Archon, absolutely. Yeah, seriously, Samurai. Are convicts actually sealed in like Tychus? That's a good question, but based on everything we've seen mostly in the books, I'm going to say no. I think Tychus was specifically sealed in, and don't forget he has one piece of hardware the rest of them don't. He's got that, he's basically got the bomb thing going on, the if you try to take him out of the suit, it kills him thing. So he's not just sealed in. The suit is designed to kill him if he's not stayed sealed in, which is, you know, horrible, as you might imagine. Dude, it is! Oh, that's a nice touch. The planet's rotating in the distance. That is so nice. I've talked before about the fact that human beings, the human eye, enjoys motion more than it does static image. So, for example, if I had a static image behind me, it would look different to you than it would if it was a mobile image. This is one of the reasons I use those mobile backgrounds nowadays. Even if you don't consciously aware of the fact that the background's moving, the fact that it is moving makes it look better to you. It makes it look more real, more natural. If it's static, it will bother a person seeing that. And I can prove it because if I put the tip of the arrow right, say, on this little crater right here, and you watch it, the crater's moving by it. See, it's really subtle, but that's nice. StarCraft 2 is polish. If I were to describe the biggest reason why StarCraft 2 is in my top 10 of all time, it's polish. I really doubt it, Kamek, especially since we see him out of the suit after that as well. Like I said, I'm pretty sure most people get into the suit in a more temporary fashion. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Next thing I want to talk about is why did Mengsk personally go out to deal with Tychus? Two reasons. One, that is kind of Mengsk's method, his methodology. He actually tends to deal with things himself and personally quite a bit. So that's actually really cool. And I like the fact that, I like the idea that he would personally go to Tychus and be like, look, here's the deal, right? He probably, you remember later Tychus will describe his escape, and he'll mention he was broken out by the Emotion, or not the Emotion Protectorate. Oh, I can't think of the name. The organization that Valerian runs, that is infiltrated by Duran. Anyways, it is extremely likely that he wasn't even lying about that. They probably gave him the suit and then broke him out via the others. It's just Mengsk was aware of it the whole time. Mobius, thank you. Mobius Foundation, which is infiltrated by Duran and Mengsk, by the way. By the way, to make this clear, whenever I refer to Mengsk, I'm referring to Arcturus Mengsk. Whenever I say Valerian, I mean Valerian. Next point of note here. I know, I'm sorry. I got a lot of things to talk about. Next point of note here. Some people have complained about the fact that right at the beginning, Mengsk comes out right out and says, hey, here's some plot twists. In other words, we know very, very early on, like pretty much right at the beginning, that Mengsk is the one behind Tychus's escape. He's the one who's actually responsible for the interactions of Tychus and getting him free and getting him into Rainer's group. This is a specific type of storytelling. There's basically, when it comes to this level of unveiling a mystery, there are two types of storytelling. Number one is to ensure that the audience knows nothing, regardless of what the characters know. So the audience is in the dark, and then it is revealed to the audience, and it's a big shock and surprise, right? The other method of doing it is the audience knows everything, and the characters don't. And so things are unveiled. Now that is it's hard to explain that kind of writing, because you might look at that and think, well, that just seems silly. And it's hard to come up with examples because most people don't do that style of writing. But basically the idea is to give you the tension of knowing what's coming. It's the same reason why well-done prequels work, because you know how a prequel's going to end. We've already seen what happens next, right? But a well-done prequel will try and play with you and play with your expectations and create that tension of, you know how this is going to end. And so you're just like... And the whole time you're just, oh, God. And, So this is why they did this with Mengsk and revealing his hand so early on. Now, do I like that? I'm not sure. I do feel that it might have... Personally, I think it might have worked better if we didn't find out that Mengsk was behind this until the very end. But seeing Mengsk was behind it from the very beginning kind of helps to emphasize how Mengsk, despite the fact that, as some people have called, he's become a bit of a Disney villain, he still has his intellect, he still has his wits, he was still thinking long term. And he was planning for this entire inevitability pretty much from the get-go. I mean, you ever wonder how Valerian got half the Dominion fleet? It's not just because he's the son. Don't tell me that. But anyways, yes, exactly, Kay. Yes, that exactly, Leander, that dread, that tension. It's like, no, I don't want to see this happen to you. No. If I could give a good example, Metal Gear Solid 3 is a very well-done prequel. And in many ways, it really helps that. Yeah, PAX isn't going to get any achievements. Couple other additional points here. First of all, as ever, Blizzard is the master of visual storytelling. You get a lot of info dump there at that very first cutscene. A lot of it is actually spoken word, but one of the things I really, really like... I guess that's true, actually, Zeiss, now that you mention it. One of the things I like is basically in everything, the lighting, the music that's playing, the general tone and atmosphere of the room, the alcohol that Rainer's guzzling down, and the fact that he's just got that picture of Kerrigan just there. We know so much about Rainer and about the backstory, just bam, just like that. Someone actually asked recently if... sorry. One of the questions that was asked was... Oh god, I've lost it. I keep getting distracted. I was in the middle of saying something. What was I in the middle of saying something? Anyway, let's talk about the adjutant briefcase. I like the... the fact that you have this briefcase thing that has access to the adjutant right there. We do know adjutants are actually physical creatures. This is actually the first game that actually confirms that. We weren't 100% sure of that until now. We will actually literally see an adjutant later. We also... Adjutants are damned creepy, if I could be blunt in this one. Even Rainer treats them like they're not a person, although, based on what we know, they are very much VIs. Remember, I actually mentioned the AI problem? I was in the middle of talking about something, and I've actually forgotten it. Forgive me. What else was in that cutscene? Him shooting. It's not over till it's over. Great thing. And of course, we had Kate Lockwell, who actually I'll be talking about. I'll actually be mentioning several things about Kate Lockwell later. Final note here. Final note I want to mention. That cutscene we just saw was rendered with in-game engine. This was something that was ruddy brilliant. They actually started this in WoW. Started rendering cutscenes rather than... Okay, let me try and explain a little bit. If you go over and do a pre-rendered cinematic cutscene, it takes forever. It is an insane, huge, in-depth, costly, lengthy process. It takes time. It takes... yeah, exactly. It takes time, it takes effort. It is very difficult to do pre-rendered cinematics. The cinematic we saw of Tychus getting hooked up, that's a pre-rendered cinematic, okay? To explain what I mean. Once upon a time, we would just call those CGIs or just cinematics, but the lines have blurred in recent eras of gaming, so I have to be more specific with my terminology. With WoW, they started doing cinematics rendered in the in-game engine with the Wrathgate. You remember that? And they started actually basically doing long-term professional machinimas, using the actual engine and just using special things to record as it was going along, and it worked great. And they could do so much more with it, and the reason why is because it takes so much less time, so much less budget, so much less processing power, so they can do so much more with with the in-game rendered cinematics. I love that idea because it gives them more options. One of the reasons StarCraft 2 shows so much more is because of that. Remember I was talking about how StarCraft 1, you had to interpret so much of what's going on because they couldn't show it. And the only things they could show were either in the game engine or in the cinematics, the pre-rendered cinematics, right? The gameplay cinematic stuff, well, that's debatable, Lilu. Debatable. That's all I'm going to say about that is debatable, because if you're going that route with it, then StarCraft actually started that. That's really not what I mean. You're talking about cutscenes. I'm talking about things that might as well be cinematics, except for the fact that they're rendered by the engine rather than doing the camera turning around thing. Anyways, regardless of where it started, the point is it was a brilliant idea because they can do more with it. They can show more with it. One of the biggest reasons why StarCraft 2 can show more is because of the fact that they actually have that process. So I'm trying to explain this and I'm failing miserably. Imagine you have 100 units of time and budget, okay? This is it. This is all you're ever getting, 100 units. You have to tell all the story of this game with 100 units, okay? So you make the gameplay and you make the missions and you make the design, and that takes up like 50. So you got 50 left, right? Okay? With these, actually, that's a good example of Medfist. That Medfist, excuse me, that is, I think, was actually the literally first one, now that I'm thinking about it. But anyways, you've got 50 units left, right? You can use 25 of those units doing pre-rendered cinematics, which take a huge amount of time, and then try to actually show the rest and imply it through mission dialogues or briefings or whatever. Or you can use all 50 to show everything, because instead of taking 25 for a single cutscene, it takes like 2. Now, I don't want it to make it sound like they're not doing their job with the in-game rendered cutscenes. Quite the contrary. There's still a lot of work and effort involved. But so much of the time and money black hole that is CGI rendering is thrown out the window because they don't need to do it. So they're able to do a bajillion more things with it. And it even works smoothly with the game, because if you turn the graphics down, it affects the cutscenes as well. Now, that's kind of a bad thing and kind of a good thing. But if you crank the graphics up, it looks pretty much better than several CGI cutscenes I've seen, even in more recent games. So I love this idea, because they actually get to show all of this stuff. We get to see what the swarm looks like. We get to feel how bad it is to be down there in the actual trenches. We get to actually see what the planets look like. They show so much more than they were ever able to before, because this is basically a new idea. This is the same thing they did in WoW. WoW now has more cutscenes, pre-rendered cinematics, because of that. So I think that's everything I had to talk about. I wanted to mention the in-game rendered thing, because this planet over here, can you see the mouse? Is the mouse here? I don't know if the mouse is... Someone tell me if the mouse is here, because I can't tell. Anyways, this planet that's in the background, that's rendered by engine. That is actually a sphere rendered by the game engine that's doing this over here. You know? I love that. Everything we saw. Okay, you can see the mouse, so you can see this. Everything we saw, the glass and the bug that'll be killed later, and the TV being shot and the gun Raynor used. That was all rendered with the in-game engine. I absolutely love it. So I'm done gushing. Let's talk a little bit more about the in-between stuff. It has been 4 years since the end of Brood War. The Terran Dominion has just skyrocketed. It has had such an unprecedented, explosive, exponential growth. This is actually the Terran Dominion basically at its height. The Terran Dominion before was strong. The Terran Dominion here is overwhelmingly powerful. And we'll talk a little bit more about the reasons why they were able to accomplish those things. It basically boils down to the fact that the Terran Dominion threw ethics out the window. And I mean that sincerely. When you no longer have to consider the lives of the people underneath you as relevant, when you no longer have to care about, haha, Zeiss, when you no longer have to care about any of the comforts or the social structures or cultural norms or anything like that, when you no longer care about anything other than getting the job done, the Dominion got a lot done in 4 years. It is actually astonishing how much they got done in 4 years. And it's a plot point, not a plot hole. To use another example of this, actually, forgive me for digressing, there's a game out there called Metroid, or rather a game series called Metroid. You might have heard of it. In the Metroid series, the reason the space pirates, despite their general stupidity, have accomplished so much and are really the threat, the galactic level of threat that they are, is because they throw ethics out the window, because they are willing to do anything in order to accomplish their goals. And they do it regularly. They fling their own lives out the window because they don't matter. So that's pretty much what the Dominion has been doing here. Final thing, since he's actually in chat, I actually meant to open with this, and I apologize. I have so much to talk about in this game. I want to say a big, open, public thank you to Zeiss. You are the one who donated for this Lorerun. It was earlier this year. I want to say it was a large sum of money. I still remember. I am still grateful. I am sorry it has taken me so long to get to this Lorerun. I hope you enjoy it. But this Lorerun is for you, Zeiss. Thank you very much for funding this Lorerun. I appreciate it. Everyone may feel free to thank Zeiss for the fact that I am doing a Lorerun of Starcraft, because if it wasn't for him, I probably wouldn't be. So, with all that out of the way, wait, hang on, one more thing. Here's Zeiss right here. So I'm gonna thank Zeiss in the best way that I have available to me. Hang on a moment. This is taking me longer because I have problems here. Okay, here we go. Zeiss, this is in honor of you, buddy. Do what you were born to do. There we go. Alright, we're good. Let's start this.
Adjutant, what do you got for me?
Dominion forces have set up a logistics headquarters in the town of Backwater Station. This has become the hub for all operations on Marsara. The Dominion recently pulled troops out of the city, and they are now under strength.
Are the locals cooperating?
The people of Backwater Station are known to be anti-Dominion, but they lack weapons and organization.
If I can take that headquarters away from Mengsk, it'll cripple him on this planet. Prep my ship.
I have not done an in-depth analysis on the trailer. I probably will not be. My overall thoughts are I'm looking forward to the movie, but the trailer looked very generic. Was that frame hit just me, or was it hitting the whole thing? Because if it was, then we need to figure out why that's happening. I'm on my tower. I shouldn't be having that kind of a problem. So I need you guys to give me more specifics. Was it the whole thing, or was it just me? Because now I'm smooth. I can tell I'm smooth. I'm looking at it right now. The whole thing, huh? That's odd. It should not be doing that. Okay, hang on. That's unacceptable. We're not doing this. We're not doing that. I really don't want to turn the graphics down, like at all. Because the graphics are amazing in this game. Let's see how it handles this. See how this looks. Is that smooth? Look at that. That's perfectly smooth, and that's done with the same engine. So why is it doing that? No, see, it's only on the capture, guys. That's the problem. I don't know why OBS is suddenly capturing that. It's so a thing. I guess we could turn the graphics down from extreme. Like I said, I don't want to. But I may have to. I don't know what would be a good thing to turn down to make that work. No, but it's smooth for me, Equalitus. That's the thing. It was perfectly smooth for me. On my screen, it was fine. Hang on, let me try. Give me just a second. Let's get this out of here. And this out of here. Just a moment. Yeah, see, that's the thing. I did the top 28 and it worked fine. Nothing should have changed since then. That's why I'm very confused by this. Now, I am in windowed instead of full screen windowed. Hey, Jinx, sorry, we got a couple of graphics problems there. Is that a bot? Oh my god. FPS is capped at 30. I mean, look, Jovin, this is clearly above 30 here. Alright, let's try. I've changed a couple of things. Let's get another... Get another cutscene going here. Let's see what this looks like. I'm going to make this work, guys. Even if I have to turn the graphics down, I'm going to make this work. I really don't want to turn the graphics down. And I have no idea what's up with it.
Sir, I received an encrypted transmission from an untraceable source. It claims that Tosh here was part of a classified operation called Project Shadowblade.
Yeah,
they used Jorium and Terrazine to enhance ghost powers.
It's true. We are called Spectres.
Yeah, that's still way too choppy. Okay. Okay. I hate to turn this stuff off, but let's turn that off. And this should be fine, so that doesn't matter. Let's just do this one at a time. We're just gonna turn stuff down bit by bit. Take two. How do I do that on my machine?
Sir,
that's a lot smoother. In fact, that's super smooth. Look at that. That's way better.
It claims that Tosh here was part of a classified operation called Project Shadowblade. They used Jorium and Terrazine to enhance ghost powers.
It's true.
Yeah, look at that. That is way better. Immediately.
And you were going to tell me all this when?
We all have our secrets, Mr. Rena. Doesn't mean I'm any threat to you.
Maybe not. But whoever sent this message could be. Matt, any way to verify the transmission?
No, sir.
Okay.
But it does end with, I'll be in touch soon.
Alright, yeah. So we are approved. Sorry, guys, for the... So I'm just going to go ahead and assume that's good. We'll just live without that. I could split out the processors. I was actually just looking into that lurker in case that didn't work, but that seems to have worked, so whatever. So, yeah, everything else is still cranked up as high as possible. Everything else is cranked.
Backwater Station is the...
Adjutant, what do you got for me?
Except now it's choppy again.
Dominion forces have set up a logistics headquarters in the town of Backwater Station. This has become the hub for all operations on Marsara. The Dominion recently pulled troops out of the city, and they are now under strength.
Are the locals cooperating?
The people of Backwater Station are known to be anti-Dominion, but they lack weapons and organization.
If I can take that headquarters away from Mengsk, it'll cripple him on this planet. Prep my ship.
It's still screwed up. Hang on, hang on. I've given OBS its own processor. Starcraft 2. Although Starcraft 2 is using up like nothing CPU-wise, which is hilarious. Okay, so why don't we set this to the others? Yeah, I'm sorry, chomp is unacceptable. We're not doing that. Yeah, it's OBS. That's the issue. OBS is just chopping up when it goes into the thing. God damn it. I feel like I'm speedrunning. Like I say, it's OBS. OBS is having trouble with certain scenes.
Backwater station.
Okay.
Adjutant.
Nope, still choppy as crap. Alright. New plan. Chop is absolutely unacceptable. So... Starcraft, here we go. Yes. Save, go. I might, if it still is going, I'll go ahead and give FFmpeg its own processor as well. Yeah, OBS is what I'm using to stream, correct? Okay, we're good. Make sure everything's set up here, which it looks like it is. People watching us YouTube are gonna be like, what the hell, dude? I have actually been thinking about upgrading my CPU recently, but that's for rendering.
Backwater state.
Adjutant, what do you got for me?
Dominion forces have set up a logistics.
Yeah, it's whenever we got in his face. Watch my hands.
This has become the hub
it's
for
fine
all
now.
operations on Marsara. The Dominion recently pulled troops out of the city, and they are now.
Watch, it's gonna go back to his face in a
Are
second.
the locals cooperating?
The people of Backwater Station are known to be anti-Dominion, but they lack weapons and organization.
If I can take that headquarters away from Mengsk,
If it ever goes back to his
it'll
face.
cripple him on this planet.
There it
Prep
is.
my ship.
See that? See that? Okay. No, see, the problem is, Prog, it's going to be in, like, every scene. I've never had this problem before. I've actually streamed Heart of the Swarm and Wings of Liberty before. I have never had problems with this before. So I'm not sure what the hell is up with this. Okay, we've already turned off Inlet Direct Shadows. Whatever. Movies are staying on high. I'll turn this down to high. Ugh, I hate going down. Although that shouldn't change anything. Yes, it makes sense financially, even if I don't agree with it. Let's go ahead and turn these down. Turning down shadows always tends to help. This isn't Witcher 3, can't. Although, lol. Maybe it's because I'm in windowed mode? Because I've never streamed in windowed mode before. Actually, that's an interesting point. But whatever, you guys want windowed mode, and I agree with you, so let's see if we can... Go with this another time. We've turned even more graphic settings down.
Backwater Station.
Adjutant, what do you got for me?
Christ!
Dominion force.
What the hell? Okay, hang on. This is ridiculous. I'm going to go full screen just to see if it changes anything, just really quick. Because I'm curious if that's what the problem is. Okay, are we still grabbing at least some of it? Yeah, looks like we are. Okay. Oh, the game runs fine for me, Big Mama. That's not the problem. I don't see any chop on my screen. You guys see chop, and I'm seeing it on the OBS preview. Yes, because full screen is gonna look weird. That's why. Alright, so once more into the breach here. Tech issues with Archie and Guy. I swear half my streams devolve into this, don't they?
Adjutant.
And it's fine.
What do you got for me?
Look at it. It's perfectly fine.
Dominion forces have set up a logistics headquarters in the town of Backwater Station.
See? Here, I'll demonstrate. No chop.
The Dominion recently pulled troops out of the city and they are now under strength.
Are the locals cooperating?
The people of Backwater Station are known to be anti-Dominion, but they lack weapons and organization.
Let's make absolutely sure.
If I can take that headquarters away from Mengsk, it'll cripple him on this planet. Prep my ship.
No chop at all. Look at that. Smooth as hell. Okay. Guys, I'm sorry. We have to do this. So this means... Okay, guys, now we have to decide how we're doing the graphics again. I apologize, because I know we already kind of settled this, but this means we have to redecide. So let me get... For those of you who weren't here for the beginning, these are our two options. This is option one. Option one is me here. I'll show you both options directly. Option one, hang on, I gotta do this. Option one is basically this. Now this is super tiny, and I know it's super tiny, and I'm sorry, but this is my option one. Option one is this, kind of like this. This is exactly what option one would look like. Okay, just let you look at it for a moment. As you can see, the graphics are super tiny up here.
Break it down. Raiders roll.
So this is kind of what this is going to look like. All right, you with me?
Commander.
Actually, I'm going to crank the graphics right back up because I bet I can. What do you want to bet? What do you want to bet I can crank the graphics back up?
There are tutorial videos awaiting your review.
Yeah. So this is option one. Option two
your intervals wide, your eyes open, and your ass is covered. Let's move.
Is a little different. Option two is... Give me a moment. Give me a moment. To help with the CPU problem, John? I mean, I'm not saying no, but... option two would basically look like probably this over here, actually. This is option two. I'd probably get rid of the numbers here, but this is option two. So these are the two options we can do for going forward. Before you ask, no, we're not getting rid of the chat. Just to make sure you're fully aware of what the chat will look like, let me go ahead and show you what a cutscene looks like with option two. For the 50th time.
They say a man never...
Blah, 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 blah.
Backwater Station.
So here's what a cutscene looks like with option two.
What do you got for me?
Dominion forces have set up a logistics headquarters in the town of Backwater Station.
That could be
This
Java.
has become the hub
I do have an
for all
NVIDIA, by the way.
operations on Marsara. The Dominion recently pulled troops out of the city, and they are now under strength.
Are the locals cooperating?
The people of Backwater Station are known to be anti-Dominion, but they lack weapons and organization.
If I can take that headquarters away from Mengsk, it'll cripple him on this planet.
That makes sense, Trip, yeah.
Prep my ship.
So, these are our two options. This is option two. The smaller window is option one. I'm going to let you guys decide. Hang on. Ignore that. That's not the poll. We need to start the poll over. Smaller, larger. Bam. There's the new poll. Make sure that you are voting now. Which NVIDIA? It's funny you say that. I have an NVIDIA GeForce GTX 970. So these are our two options. Sorry, guys. You know what? Actually, I do have one other option that just occurred to me. I'm going to go ahead and try it. just to get this working. So we're going to go ahead and go to windowed. Yes, keep. Give me a moment. Got to recapture that.
Commander, there are tutorial videos awaiting your review.
That's great. Okay, that's great.
Keep your intervals wide, your eyes open, and your ass is covered. Let's move.
I'm guessing they only do the tutorial thing when you're in casual difficulty. Of course, we already saw they do several different things different in casual difficulty. Whoa, okay. So, hang on. God, that's weird looking. Give me a moment. I gotta do this manually, which is gonna suck. Is that... Hang on. How do I... What? Ah! Ugh, okay. So I need this to be like... a little bit more to the left, a little bit more up. God, this is hard to tell what I'm doing here. Like there. Hang on, I need to know where the edge is. Right there. Okay. That kind of works. Let's see if we have any chop in this thing. Oh! I could actually claim more. That is actually another option. I could just turn off the chat during the cutscenes. I'd have to remember each time. So there's no guarantees, you know, that relies on me being competent. We're capturing in a slightly different manner here. Let's see how this looks, okay? So we're in windowed. We've got this thing going. Here, let's get everything back the way it was. This going over here. Zunk. Zunk. Yeah, let's see how the cutscene works. Like I said, we're actually capturing in a different method here. So fingers crossed, I'm gonna do the thing, making the noise. Yes. Launch.
Adjutant, what do you got for me?
Dominion forces have set up
I think it might be working.
headquarters in the town of Backwater Station.
I think it might be working.
This has become the hub for all operations on Marsara. The Dominion recently pulled troops out of the city, and they are now under strength.
Are the locals cooperating?
The people of Backwater Station are known to be anti-Dominion.
I think it's working, guys.
But they lack weapons and organization.
If I can take that headquarters...
I don't like doing this because it's a pain to set up, but I'm willing. I've got it already set up pretty well. I think.
Ship.
Yeah, we're good. We're good. So one of the things OBS does is it has the option to capture a game, which actually uses a different codec entirely than if it captures just normally. And it's really, really irritating to set up properly, which is why I really don't like doing it. I almost always do window capture because that 99% of the time works better. But like I said, I am more than willing to put up with the hassle of setting this crap up to make sure... There we go, looks like we're even. Sorry, I'm using myself back here as a way to figure out where the window should be. It's hard to explain why it's screwed up. It's just screwed up. Just trust me when I say when you do a game capture, it's screwed up and shrug. But it looks like it's working, and we've got the right ratios, and we need to move this down a bit, but otherwise I think this works, so yay! Once again, we have found the third option, guys. We continue to be the Mario. Fan-frickin-tastic. That makes me feel a lot better. Okay, so. Is it not quite flush on the top? Hang on. Where's the... I use myself as the deciding thing for this because it's really easy to tell. Oh, you're right. Hi, guys. Hi! Okay, so now we gotta do this. And like this. Hang on. Okay, so we're flush with the top. We're flush with the left. Looks like we are flush with everything. Right about... Hang on, let's just do this. Mario always finds third options. I guess I could Darkrai. I don't know how to start. I mean, I've been doing this for a pretty long time now. And a lot of what I've learned is just through experience, which is how I usually learn stuff anyways. Okay, I think we're actually good to go. Yeah, let's close the poll out, now that it's not necessary.
All right, boys. Let's show the locals they don't need to fear the Dominion.
Wow, that was a pretty even vote, too. Not fully tied, but hey. Okay. And we've got that captured, we've got that captured. Everything is awesome.
Commander, there are tutorial videos awaiting your review.
Okay. Yes, that's great.
Keep your intervals wide, your eyes open, and your asses covered. Let's move. Sounds like a plan.
Oh, good, Samurai.
You can count on me.
So this is probably how we'll do Legacy of the Void, too, since we have this middle-of-the-road option. So, this is, again, some visual storytelling all over the place, by the way. Look at this. Road blockade, burning cars, burning buildings. Yeah, as Takoida says, Marsara has been resettled after having been evacuated by the Zerg, and it's still a hellhole. Or evacuated because of the Zerg, excuse me.
Up that road.
Why not?
Sounds like a plan.
So let's go ahead and talk about a few ways why StarCraft 2 is basically superior in every way to StarCraft 1. No, I'm kidding. But seriously, though, they did some really, really good stuff with this. I can't target that dog. I can't even select him, which means I also can't get my guys to attack him. It's not possible. I also can't select various ideas. You might be like, well, why is that a good thing? It enables them to do more in-game engine. Also, they'll do some other cool stuff, which I'll point out as we go. But basically, the actual, again, the engine, the gameplay, the UI of it is just vastly superior. They did, oh my god, those things have no health on casual. Watch your neighbors closely. Because remember, anyone could be, you know, anti-Dominion.
You can count on me.
So, one of the things they'll do is they'll actually have these bonus objectives in StarCraft 2.
Keep a close watch on your neighbors. Descent will only slow our progress.
Commander, destroying the Dominion holoboards will help incite rebellion against the Dominion.
Obedience is safety. Guys, obedience is safety. Now, the Dominion has basically gone full tilt. Has gone full tilt, you know, Big Brother state, just like the previous did.
Corval is the heart of the Dominion, but the common man is the heart of the future.
Absolutely, Saradin. So one of the things I love about this is perfectly the mindset of the Dominion right here, okay? And I'm dead serious. This is Marsara. This is a Dominion-held territory, and yet they care so little about it other than what they can take from it. Hang on a second. Shut up, Minx. There we go. So, yes, fearsome. So, yeah, it's a full-on police state. They only do two things, though, in Marsara, or is this Chowsara? I don't actually remember. Is this Marsara or Charsara? Anyways, they only do two things here to maintain their control. Thing one, they send a pittance of a force. Basically, don't... and the reason why that's so Dominion is they don't waste actual resources. Remember, the Dominion has a ton of military hardware. They have a ridiculously huge army. They have a ridiculously powerful fleet. They could use it to defend each of their worlds if they wanted to. They don't. Again, this is that ethics thing, and I'll talk about why this is relevant later. Instead, they leave this world basically to fend for itself, but they still want resources from it. So they send a pittance force who've got big guns to bully around the locals and try to do this thing with the propaganda posters and the propaganda demonstrators. Now, I mention this because this is again that lack of ethics coming into question. This is minimal effort for maximum amount of gain. You might be like, well, what gain? The people are rebelling and they're killing. Yes, and what does that matter to the Dominion? What does the Dominion get out of this? They get all the resources that they managed to take out of Marsara, excuse me. They get the personnel and the people they managed to conscript from this area. They get, in other words, they get a fairly decent benefit from this, and it costs them virtually nothing. They could actually extend their... this is why I call the Dominion smart. This is why I say Minsk isn't that stupid. The Dominion could spend all its resources oppressing this rock, but why bother? They're not going to get anything else out of it for doing that other than the people being, you know, more loyal or less loyal, as the case may be, to the Dominion. Who gives a damn? They could spend all those resources to actually terraform this place and take care of it and try to make an actual paradise situation or try to improve the life of the people. But again, who cares? That's, again, not going to benefit the Dominion any better. So what the Dominion doing here is, ironically, very, very smart and very, very evil. Again, ethics have just been thrown out the window. Mengsk lies, who cares? They're still getting what they get out of this. And the funny part is...
Where is everyone?
Yeah, we know where everyone is. The funny thing is, you might be like, well, what happens when Raynor moves in and takes over? What are we going to do? They're going to lose all those resources. At that point, what then? Well, actually, if you think about it, then all they have to do is send one battlecruiser over here, and... You going to serve us yet? No? Okay. And they win again. It's, again, that minimal effort, because there's no reason from a purely ethicless perspective to put more effort into Marsara. Now, I just want to mention, I've talked about how Blizzard is the best doodad placers in the world. I've gushed about this in so many other games. Starcraft 2 has that in spades. There are hundreds upon hundreds of different doodads all over the place. The foliage with the cactus and the rocks and the debris and the chunks of metal, and there's the posters, and there's like broken down buildings, and there's the gas truck, and of course this is awesome right here. Hey Mengsk, and he never actually finishes. He starts saying F, and then the spray paint goes off, and there's the ladder still there, and there's the spray paint and the guy and the blood. Attention to detail, like I said, StarCraft 2 gushes attention to detail. Absolutely just mind-blowing. And of course they have a bunch of little references, which I'm not going to mention all of them. There's dozens of them. This is Tashi's station. Get it? It's Tashi's. They've got the trucker place, Barry Trouters or whatever. They actually bothered to write no parking here, even though it's facing the wrong way, just so you could have that little bit of detail. And here's the car that person probably was in. With the doors open, the car is still running, by the way. And of course there's a Dominion soldier just hanging up. The attention to detail in this game is so huge. I could triple the length of this lore run just by pointing out every single little detail they put into the map. So just seriously, you guys, whenever you go through this game, just take your time and go through the details. There are so many amazing details in this game. I love it. I eat it up. It's pure juice. Even the way the corpses fall over is ironically less bloody.
My family.
Less bloody and more bloody at the same time than StarCraft 1. It's weird. In StarCraft 1,
This is starting to look ugly.
In StarCraft 1, everyone just kind of exploded into blood. In StarCraft 2, they fall over and there's a splash of blood, but their corpse is still left there. In fact,
Sounds like a plan.
If you'll notice, his blood splurt is still there on the ground where he died.
Time to man up.
Oh yeah, there was the Fallout 3 thing, too.
Commander, a large Dominion force is gathering in the center of town.
Then it's time to call in that special delivery we talked about. Raiders roll.
Thanks for the assist. We're with you, Raynor.
On me.
Work hard. Stand proud. We must all sacrifice for the glory of...
Yeah, exactly. Less blood, more visceral. The Dominion, protecting you from yourself. No, I think Takoida really hit the nail on the head there. Less blood, more visceral,
Raiders
more
roll.
violent, really.
Work hard. Stand proud. We must all sacrifice...
Time to man up.
We must all sacrifice for the glory of the Dominion.
Raiders roll.
Aye, Cruiser. Are you operational?
Sounds like a plan. You can count on
So,
me.
another thing they introduced in StarCraft 2 is the... Oh yeah, sorry, I totally forgot to mention that. They mentioned the bonus objective things. The bonus objectives are awesome. In most cases, they have some gameplay benefits, but for the most part, they're just there for story. And yeah, in case you can't quite tell, those are body bags, which are still oozing blood. And this is just so terrifying, because you can see the bottom of the cliff right there, and there's the chasm. They're tossing bodies into the chasm, but they're not even bothering to toss them all the way in. This is so Dominion. These soldiers are probably like, we could toss them all the way into that chasm, but that'll take effort. Just push them over the edge. And so they all land here, like 20 feet down. Boonk. Boonk. Yeah.
Sounds
Again,
like a
very
plan.
Dominion.
Raiders roll. Time to man up. You can count on me. Sounds like a plan.
Your freedoms must be protected.
As you wish. Now, this is really screwed up.
This is bad.
So, of course, you've got a bunch of body bags here. You notice the blood spurts over by these targeting and the bodies over here? I want you to just picture this scene. This is one thing I love that Blizzard does. Often the times, we talked about this just last week when it comes to implied horror in Halloween games. Blizzard games often have a lot of implied horror. They don't show us this scene, which would probably have been very disturbing and bloody and horrible and gory. Instead, they show us the aftermath of this scene. I want you to picture someone who's just a local, who doesn't have a gun, who doesn't have anything. He's just been put up against the wall, and the soldier says just, "You stand here, you stand here," and then they walk back. And can you picture that? God, that's just messed up. So yeah, they've had their practice firing squad there. Also, real men drill deep. Yeah, they do that a lot in the Diablo games. They have a lot of implied horror. Doc Adams, cyber implants. Haha. Yeah, there's a lot of implied horror in this game. A lot.
Sounds like a plan.
I mean, it is definitely lighter toned overall. Like I said, it's the better tomorrow thing. There might be hope for tomorrow thing, but it is still a messed up game.
Finally, there's the locals. You'll all be given a meal when you reach the dig site.
My brother went off to the mine last week. He disappeared.
We got a runner. They're shooting civilians. Move in. Raiders roll.
Go.
Sounds like a plan. Raiders roll.
Minsk has a lot to pay for.
Thank you, Raynor. We knew you wouldn't forget us.
There's more people still being held up ahead.
I'll see to them.
Oh yeah, I didn't even point this out. I'm sorry. There's benches set up right in front of the firing squad. Now this has two horrifying implications. One, they're so casual about shooting people as firing squads that they just are sitting down waiting in line. Or two, it was a show. I'll let you think about which one of those is more horrifying. Also, I like the casual implication there, giving away food as a reward for backbreaking labor in a mine. That's some Half-Life 2 vibes right there. If you betray your fellows, we'll give you some food. What? You don't want food? Again, it's basically treating people like they're animals. This is why I say that I don't really defend the Dominion. I defend the writers of the Dominion, if that makes any sense. I don't think the Dominion is stupid. Or rather, I don't think the writing of the Dominion is stupid. I don't think they're evil for evil's sake. I don't think they're a Disney villain. I think they're ridiculously evil and disturbingly efficient in what they accomplish. And again, I want to stress this one more time. What the Dominion accomplished, they accomplished in 4 years. And that was after losing the majority of their forces, first in the UAD attack, then on the assault, the betrayal at Augustgrad, and then on the attack on Char. And after 3 losses, they've turned around to this. Oh, that would be even worse, Aquamouser. God, that is just terrifying. And yeah, like as Kamek points out, that could be just really, really, really screwed up. So anyways,
Count on me.
There's your bit of sunshine for the day.
Raiders roll.
Marshal Raynor. Been a while since we saw you around here.
We're with you, Raiders!
And right you are. So I want to point out one thing before we end the mission. One of the things that some people ask is how Raynor has such a reputation in the 4 years. And ironically, and this is hilarious to me, that's actually Mengsk's fault more than anyone else. Mengsk has gone out of his way to constantly use the media to blitz Raynor all over the place. Now, how much you believe Raynor is a bad guy or not, within the Dominion, I mean, in character, is variable based, it seems, where you are. The people who actually encounter the Raiders know that they're good folk. They constantly try to help people out. There's a reason why the Raiders keep getting new recruits, after all. The further you are inland, the more likely you are to think of Raynor as an actual, terrorist, criminal, etc. Again, someone in chat mentioned earlier the possibility of propaganda being more useful the closer you are to the core. You know, in other words, the further distance you are from the atrocities. I mention this, though, because I find it hilarious that Mengsk is probably one of the biggest reasons why Raynor is so well known at this point in time, that his legend has grown and spread so far, that him showing up on Sara and walking through here, they noticed him on sight and were like, you know, oh, absolutely, Nerazaz. Exactly a dead. Mengsk is actually being very intelligent in his maneuvers against Raynor. This is another reason why Tychus being infiltrated into Raynor's group makes perfect sense for Mengsk. In other words, it is more... We've talked about this before. If you're an evil tyrant, it is better for you to have control over the dissident groups that are against you than to just let them do whatever and actually try to stomp them out. This is actually one of the things Palpatine did as his biggest flaw, right next to what he did with Tarkin. Palpatine was insistent on wiping out the Rebel Alliance. That's not how you do that. You control the Rebel Alliance. You allow them to be against you. You allow them to get their victories against you, and you mitigate the damage they can do to you. And that way you ensure they'll never actually do anything genuinely important to stop your processes. And that's exactly what Mengsk is doing to Raynor. He, for all intents and purposes, is keeping the Raiders on a leash, allowing them to operate in certain areas, allowing them to function in certain areas, allowing them their victories, because those are small losses to him and to the Dominion as a whole. The Dominion as a whole is benefited by having him there because so much of the resistance, of anti-Dominion resistance, focuses in on Raynor. That is absolutely true, Night Dawn, but they still do get reinforcements. It's just their overall numbers have been going down. If they hadn't been getting reinforcements, the numbers would have been doing this instead of like the slow descent. But we actually talked to a few people who are recruits to the Raiders from between Brood War and Starcraft 2. We actually see a few instances where the Hyperion showed up and saved people, and they were like, dude, let's do it. So, yeah. Nerazaz, it is cheaper to do that than to actually try to fight the distant forces, as I already pointed out.
Insurgents are under arrest.
Oh no.
We got your back, Raynor.
I should point out that these guys have Molotovs on them. In brutal difficulty, there's a frickin' tank here, and it's... Ugh. You have to have a strategy just for that tank.
I didn't think we could fight them, but we can.
Now you've got the weapons and the resources to do it. Remember, Mengsk can only control you if you let him.
Now, it's interesting that quote he just says, because that's actually a lie. Mengsk can control them because he has the power at his back to do it. Them not allowing to him doesn't really change anything on that one. Kay, actually, that's a very easy answer. If you're constantly taking care of them and controlling them, you pretty much ensure that they don't have the ability to grow that large, and you have to be very, very careful to ensure they don't grow that large. In other words, you have to actually be balancing the things constantly. As we see in this game, this is a game in which, this is a situation in which the rebel group actually grew beyond his control, partially because of everything that's involved in this game. Remember, Mengsk is not completely in control of everything. He's no Palpatine, to use a term like that. So it makes sense to me that basically the Raiders outgrew his leash, if I was to put it into such terms. So I guess in answer to you, Kay, what you do is you lose, as Mengsk inevitably does. It is worth noting that Mengsk did not go down quietly or easily, though. And it took the swarm to bring him down. Now, I'm actually going to pause for just a second. If this is what I think it is. No, not yet. Not yet. We'll pause in just a moment. We're about to meet one of the greatest characters added to StarCraft 2. Him and Abathur. Also, it's very heavily implied that Dominion spies and information network is how Tychus was able to find Raynor so easily, for anybody who's curious. Which also implies that Mengsk has always been keeping an eye on Raynor, which, again, makes sense.
For the most wanted man in the sector. You ain't that hard to find. I had to see it for myself. Little Jimmy Rayner, the people's hero.
Tychus Finley. Nice suit.
Pays to be prepared.
I heard they put you on ice. Life sentence. What? To give you time off for good behavior?
That's right, old buddy. I'm a model citizen now.
With good aim.
So, to what do I owe the pleasure?
Just a friendly business proposition. Do you even know what the Dominion are doing out here?
I'm guessing you're about to tell me.
Digging up alien artifacts, old buddy. Your boy Minsk has gone crazy for them. But I got a contact that'll pay top dollar for every artifact we liberate from the Dominion.
I guess I can hardly pass that up now. Can I, Tychus?
Partners then. 60-40.
70-30. My way. Feels like old times already.
Old times.
So I have a ton of backstory to give you about Tychus, which is another reason I want to pause for a bit. I need to get something set up and rearrange my desk just a little bit, and I'm going to just go ahead and stop the stream to do that. I'll be right back. So enjoy the music while I'm setting this up.